in a nice way. The £1,000,000 banknote. Can you introduce the topic? Anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yeah, hello?
in this story, ma'am, the story starts with a character like whose name is Henry Adams, and he went out on a sailing, ma'am, and on that particular day he was swept out by the sea, ma'am. Like his
All right, 1 minute. 1 minute, stop. Yes, Aman, introduce the character Henry Adams. Introduce the character the Henry Adams. BSc.IT roll number 445. Introduce the character Henry Adams.
whenever you are
I do not know, but I can hear you. I can hear everybody.
but when you speak, ma'am, like it got break.
Nothing can do about the network issues. Otherwise, if you can see me, network is fine. मैं देख रही हूँ ना आपको.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
sometimes the video also got stuck, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Anyways, and B2 roll number 30. Satish. Because see, just one person answering all the time when there are 49 students in your class, and how is it that only Vinayak or only a few persons are answering? So we are talking to the entire group. So you need to answer. I just
मैम
want
आपकी
to...
आवाज सही से नहीं आ रही है.
आपकी आ रही है ना, तो आप बोलो ना फिर. हेलो.
यस मैम.
हाँ.
हेलो.
Introduce the character Henry Adams.
मैम एक्चुअली हम पढ़े नहीं है किसी चैप्टर का. सर पढ़ाए उतने तक पढ़े हम बस.
तो सर ने क्या पढ़ा वही बोलो ना, कुछ तो बोलो. देखिए, इंग्लिश क्लास में यू कैन नॉट जस्ट सिट क्वाइट, यू हैव टू से समथिंग व्हिच यू नो.
Can I, ma'am?
No, Vinayak, I cannot. I need to ask others also. Yes, Muskan. B1 roll number 30.
Is a positive person. Sorry, Hello.
Yeah, continue. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Currently you are, ma'am.
यस मैम.
Okay. All right. Can you see the screen?
यस मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. One thing I'll do. I'll recap all the lessons once again, because I'm not satisfied with the answers, and so once I will have to recap all the lessons. Okay. So on habits. On habits is an essay which is written by A.G. Gardiner, and A.G. Gardiner writes about the different habits of people, how any habit can make a person and how a habit can break a person. He talks about good habits. He talks about bad habits. So let us see what he writes
मैम
about.
आपकी आवाज
If you can't see me, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes,
but
yes, ma'am.
आपका
All right. Now I'm sharing the screen. All right. Somebody please read what you see. Satish Kumar, read.
Yes, ma'am. HG Gardiner is one of the finest essayists of modern times.
Finest. A.J. Gardiner. It's on habits. This is the name of the. You're not even sure about the name of the essay.
Modern journalist.
On habits. So A.J. Gardiner is one of the finest essayists of modern times. Though written in a journalistic vein, yet his essays sparkle wit and wisdom. It means his writing, his style is full of wisdom. His style is full of logic and wisdom. It means it is full of wisdom. So you need to read his essays. The real charm of these essays come to us through the distinctive style of Gardner. So he has a very distinctive, clear style, and his writing is very simple. You can understand each word what he writes. So, and his style is forceful, clear, and direct. There is a perfect clarity of expression in these very delightful essays. So, as you saw, On Habits, written by A.G. Gardiner, who is one of the finest essayists in the world in the modern times. And whatever he writes, it's full of wisdom and charm. And because his essays are very simple, forceful, and clear and direct, there is perfect clarity of expression in these very delightful essays. Yes, Satish, read. No?
In the essay of Gardiner is that they are almost always spiced with personal and coded. He
Anecdote.
loves to be
Anecdotes.
personal
Hello.
contact with
What is the meaning of anecdote? Personal experiences. Yes, read.
Contact with his readers like his illustrious Charles Lamb. He had a great deal to speak about men and manners, and just as he had been in this fellow human beings. Almost every essay of Gardiner has some personal anecdotes through reports with his readers.
Rapport. Now I'll read again. And Satish, you need to do more of reading, right? One of the most outstanding qualities in the essays of Gardner is that they are almost always spiced with personal anecdotes. It means he wrote his, just like Robert Lind, he wrote about his personal experiences. Similarly, even A.G. Gardner wrote about his personal experiences. He loves to be a personal contact with his readers. It means he likes to be connected with his readers. And he likes to create a rapport. It means he wants to create a bridge, and he wants to walk through this bridge to reach the reader's mind. It means that he wants to connect to the readers through his writing. He loves to be in personal contact with his readers, like his illustrious predecessors, Charles Lamb. Charles Lamb was also one person who wanted to be always connected with the reader. He had a great deal to speak about men and manners. And he spoke about men, he spoke about manners. Interest as he had been in his fellow human beings. As he has seen, जैसा उसने देखा है, उसी आधार पे, whatever he saw, and his essays are based on whatever he saw and whatever he felt. So almost every essay of Gardiner has some personal anecdote through which he establishes a rapport with the readers. It means there is a personal touch in his writing, and through which he connects to the readers. Happy choice of words in Gardner. Hello? Another characteristic of essay of Gardner is that they are replete with choicest of words, the words that could express well the thought that the author wanted to translate into words. It means he chose those words which the people can easily understand. Somebody read Happy choice of words in Gardner. Read this.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Happy. Okay.
Hmm.
Another characteristic of Gardiner is that with choicest of words, the words that could express well the through that the author wanted to translate into words.
That the thought, जो भी वो बोलना चाहते थे, thought, ठीक है? An author, not author, that the author wanted to translate into words. He is to choose those words. He translated his thoughts into words to connect with the readers. All right. The conclusion. Somebody read.
Gardiner's prose style is the secret of his charm. It is because of his unique style. So admirers, his prose style is marked with a perfect clarity of expression. His style resembles the manner of most natural and intimate conversationalist. His sentences are usually short and his figures homely. They are free from offshow of pedantry and learning. Each essays consist of well written and connected sentences, which have well arranged stages of development in a word. Elegant is the word with style. The London newspaper editor A.G. Gardiner once wrote an interesting article on how useful or troublesome habits can be to manage.
All right. So he talks about details. He talks about whatever he feels, whatever he sees, and talks it in a very simple way. And they are free from any sort of show of pedantry. It means of any concern. He details it. He gives in detail, and then he does not force learning. He everything is done in such a beautiful way that people understand, people are entertained, and people also listen, read, and people try to change their mindset. Such was his writing, that he educated the masses. He tried to tell the people, like in the present essay, what is the importance of habits. So each essay consists of well-written and connected sentences. Well-written and connected sentences, it means it is all coherent. One word connects with the second, one experience connects with the second experience. So in this way, he makes himself very clear. There's clarity of thought and the arrangement of his words, the words which he chooses, which will go directly into your heart. In a word, elegant is the word which we might use for his prose style. So this is one beautiful word which we are using for what kind of a writer was Gardiner. he had an elegant style of writing, elegant, a beautiful style of writing. Simple is beautiful. So his style was beautiful. So the London newspaper editor, A.G. Gardner, once wrote an interesting. So here we see the London newspaper editor A.G. Gardner once wrote an interesting article on how useful or troublesome habits can be to man. It means he writes that how can a habit be useful and how can it be how can it be disadvantageous? How can it damage any person? How can it be useful? How can it be troublesome? Some bad habits can ruin you. Like if you are in a habit of getting up late, then what will happen? Bad habit. So, and good habits can be of great use. Supposing if you are in a habit of getting up early in the morning, so this is such a good habit. When you have a habit of taking a walk, keeping fit, you know what are good habits and you know what are bad habits. So the author talks to the author talks about defining how how much beneficial it is to cultivate good habits and how soon you can get rid of bad habits. His argument is that helpful habits can be cultivated. He usually spent, it means that good habits can be developed. Try developing a good habit. He usually spent long hours with a pencil in his hand. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Ma'am.
I thought I'm again breaking up. All right. And then the author, because he's an author, he always has a pen and or pencil in his hand. The author talks about his personal experience. Let me get back to your class. So he talks about his personal experience. He always wrote with a pencil. A.G. Gardner always had a pencil in his hand. And he tries to remember one incident that one day.
Is not shared.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Screen is
Ma'am,
not
screen
shared.
is not shareable.
I am speaking to you. I'm not sharing the screen.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. I'm telling you the story which he wrote. I don't need to read it out. Okay. So he tries to tell a story. The A.G. Gardner always had a pencil in his hand because he was fond of writing with a pencil. And one day, somebody gifted him a pen. Somebody gifted him what?
Pen.
A pen.
Pen.
So he was very happy that now I'm going to write with a pen. And he went on for hours and hours and hours and hours. But he could not write a single letter, a single word. वो लिख नहीं पाए. He was so habituated writing with a pencil that he could not write anything with a pen. And I mean, after wasting so much of time, he had to throw away the pen and get back to his pencil. So वो कुछ लिख ही नहीं पाए. Because he had picked up this habit of writing with a pencil. और जब पेन दिया गया तो वो लिख ही नहीं पाए. तो आखिर हार करके उन्होंने क्या की? He had to get back to his pencil और तब वो लिखना शुरू किए. So this was one habit which he talks about himself, that how he had a lot of trouble, that he had made a habit of writing with a pen, writing with a pencil. तो ये पहला एपिसोड था इनका, the pen episode. Please write the techniques in you're in IT and technical BCA line. So know this lesson technically. The good habits and the bad habits. Question number 1. Define good habit, define bad habits. Question number 2. What are your good habits? What are your bad habits? Question number 3. Why good habits are beneficial? Why bad habits are troublesome, hazardous? How a good habit can make you, how a bad habit can break you. What was the personal experience about? What was the pen episode? What was the pen pencil episode? You will have to answer these questions. So the first was that he was so much habituated with writing with a pencil that he could not write with a pen. And even after spending so much of time, it was not possible for him to write even a single word. So he had to go back to his writing with a pencil again. The second was the episode of when he was a child. And in school. And there was a particular boy like Vinayak. Any question that you ask, he will raise his hands. Yes. So there was one boy in the class जिसके पास हर आंसर रहता था. कोई भी टीचर ने किसी ने any question which a teacher asked, that one boy was always yes, yes, and he answered all the questions. और naturally एक बच्चा जो one boy who is answering all the questions, so some people are jealous of him. लोग जलने लगे कि इसको तो he knows everything and the others are not able to answer anything. So there was one boy who was watching him very closely. कि क्या बात है? How is it that this boy is answering all the questions? और वो उसको observe करने लगा. The next day he had made a plan. So the next day when he came to class, he was observing. And the moment when the teacher asked him a question, as usual, he stood up to answer the question. And so he was being watched. This boy was observing him. What did he do? The moment he started answering the question, there was a button in his coat and he was encircling the button. एक बटन उसके कोट में था और उसके बटन को वो सर्कल कर रहा था, अपने फिंगर से गोल गोल घुमा रहा था बटन की तरफ. और जब तक वो आंसर कर रहा था उसको गोल गोल यूं घुमाते रहा. और जब उन्होंने आंसर बंद कर दिया उसने, तब वो हाथ अपना वहां से हटा लिया. सेकंड क्वेश्चन पूछा गया, फिर वो हाथ उठाया and again his hand went to the coat button and he was encircling the button round, 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 round. If the answer is for 2 minutes, his hand was on the button. Third question, again the same thing happened. And now the person had observed, okay, so this is the reason why he's answering all the questions. Break time में क्या हुआ? In break time, क्या होता है? इस लड़के ने जो ऑब्जर्व कर रहा था उसका बटन निकाल लेता है, नोच लेता है, plucks out the button, breaks the button. कि अब तुम आंसर करो, कैसे आंसर करते हो. और वो उसका कोट का बटन लड़ाई झगड़ा करके in a fake fight, he breaks the button. And after the break, when the child went to the class again and some questions were asked, the boy stood up trying to answer the question. And the moment his hands went to the button, he saw that there is no button. Button तो था ही नहीं वहां पे. What happens? His hand stopped. His voice stopped. वो आंसर नहीं कर पाया. Because there was no button. उसकी हैबिट हो गई थी बटन घुमाते घुमाते बात करना, आंसर करना. बटन नहीं था तो वो बोल ही नहीं पाया, आंसर नहीं कर पाया. And he sat down. He tried again. Again he failed.
Ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, we have our next class from 2 o'clock, ma'am. It's 1:57.
All right. Good that you reminded me. And this was the second episode. First was pen and pencil. First was pen and pencil. Second was the code button episode. and we'll continue this in the next class. And I will share the content with you if you do not have it. So do you have the content? Hello, do you have the content?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.